right, I am back and continuing on with my series this week about bank impersonation scams. And I got another news story here. This one is out of Tennessee. And again, it's a bank impersonation scam where you get a phone call and it looks like it is from your bank, as it may have your bank's name. However, the person on the other end of the line is not from your bank at all. What's interesting about this one is it's got a very crazy twist to it that I thought was quite interesting, because when I've encountered customers at my bank that I work at, that say they've gotten calls from what looked like my bank and it wasn't, they said the person on the other end tends to have a very thick accent, that like they're not based in the United States. However, in this case, that is completely different. And it says here, TBI warns of bank scam using spoofed phone numbers and US based callers. That's crazy. They are going to even greater lengths here to make it sound even more convincing that it truly is your bank by using scammers based here in the United States. So let's go ahead and take a look at this clip here.
A new warning from the TBI on a twist to a familiar scam. Criminals are impersonating your bank's fraud department to try to steal your money. But now they're spoofing your bank's phone number and using real people from right here at home to make those calls sound more convincing. News 2's Lexi Wilson explains.
It starts with a call and ends with a huge loss.
Those calls are happening as of this week, and we're getting a lot of those complaints.
TBI Assistant Special Agent in Charge Nicholas Christian says you'll receive a call from a number that looks like your bank.
All right, one thing I want to mention here, it says on here that TBI warns against scam targeting businesses. Now, scammers won't just target individuals, they'll go after businesses too and find ways to scam them. And they're using bank impersonation scams here against businesses as well. So don't think just because you own a business that you're not going to be targeted by scammers. Probably you're going to be more likely targeted, as they're going to try and take the money from your business. So let's go ahead and continue on.
The scammers will often claim there's fraud on your account, then ask you to verify information and provide your security code. That code gives them access to your account.
That's the only thing they probably ask you for on the phone call. And that's actually the most dangerous thing to provide to them, because that's how they're resetting your online banking password.
The TBI says all Tennesseans should be aware, but scammers are targeting local businesses, especially those that applied for PPP loans during the pandemic, since that information is public, or from stolen checks. Investigators say the callers sound legit because they already know details about your account.
Want to kind of give a little bit of some information here regarding that, because they said right here that they can get information from stolen checks. How do they get those checks to begin with? I hate to say this, but it's very easy. A lot of people, unfortunately, are finding ways to steal or get into mail from the postal service. Those blue boxes outside of the post office or at other places around your town or city, people find ways to get mail out of there. They will open them up, any letters or envelopes, and if there's checks in them, they can steal the checks and they can wash them and get your information. It's even come to light recently, even in my state, that some postal workers have been accused of stealing mail. In fact, there was a video I saw on YouTube where an attorney had gotten a story where a person in Florida had a lottery ticket and they mailed it in, went to mail it to the lottery headquarters, but a postal worker ended up stealing that lottery ticket and tried to cash it in themselves. So there are, unfortunately, other ways that people can get your bank account information, and theft of checks is one of those. So we'll go ahead and continue on here.
Count.
There's many businesses that have said that this is very devastating.
Investigators say what's different now is these calls aren't coming from AI voices or people from overseas. They're coming from people living in the US who can hold natural conversations, making the scam more believable.
It's easy to find people that are willing to make these calls, unfortunately.
The TBI says if you get a call like this, hang up and call your bank directly. It's on the back of your card. Never share a 6-digit verification code. And if you believe you've been targeted, report it to the FBI's Internet Crime Complaint Center to try to get your money back. Reporting in Nashville, Lexi Wilson, News 2.
All right, as you can see, especially here in Tennessee, um, they get these types of scams as well, and here they're targeting businesses. And like I said earlier, the scary thing is, and I don't understand how they do it, they're able to get people here in the United States to work with these scams to make them more believable that there really is something wrong with your bank account. And in this case, they're targeting businesses that have gotten PPP loans that stem back from the COVID pandemic. But I'm going to say the same thing that I've said in some of the past videos here. If you get a call that looks like it is from your bank, has your bank's name and everything on the caller ID on your phone, I would just simply ignore it, don't answer it, or if you do, hang up immediately. Call the number on the back of your debit or credit card, or go to your local branch. That is very important, because the person on the other end of that phone is, like I said, more than likely a scammer. And they're going to make you believe that it is your bank and that there is something wrong and that you're going to have to listen to their instructions exactly. But if you do that, they're going to steal your money and get into other accounts that you might have, especially if you have online banking. They'll find ways to get into that. So you've got to be very careful. Um, you know, just watch what goes on out there. If you feel something's not right, just go to your local bank. They will take care of you. They will make sure that nothing is wrong. I've had customers at my bank, like I said, they've been, thankfully, been willing to contact us or even show up at my local branch saying, hey, this is what happened. I don't think this is right. And more than often than not, I can say, hey, yeah, you're right. This was an attempted scam. You did right by calling us or coming here so we can take a closer look at that. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I will definitely have a few more videos this week targeting bank impersonation scams. So stay tuned for this. I will have a link in the description below to this news article and video if you want to read about it or see it again. And then comment below if you've been targeted by a bank impersonation scam or know anybody that has.